I know you complain about how little reach we get on Twitch, but just as an example, that other podcast I do,
Yes.
we had a $15 credit on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So far, because we used all $15 and I threw in a little bit extra just to see what would happen.
Yep.
1,000 people have seen our ad.
Nice.
6 people have clicked on the link.
Oh. Hmm.
And I'm not saying that it's like some, oh, we should have more people. Just as a frame of reference for why, I understand we don't get as much growth as we used to, but just as a frame of reference, it's kind of puny everywhere.
Yeah, I hear ya. But anyway, so to the people that have been sitting here going, "Where is Sneaky's stream?" Well, it was having technical difficulties. OBS decided to yeet itself and not inform me of its issues, but you did actually all miss me redlining my mic and blowing out Atin's eardrums almost. So I suppose that's a positive for you all. But anyway, I am SneakyDevil, and this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002, episode 86, I believe, if my information is correct. So, it's just the two of us tonight, and Max has blown us off once more.
Are you going to buy me dinner?
No, I'm not going to buy you dinner. You can beg the podcasteers to buy you dinner.
I see. We're going straight to the part where everything goes to hell.
Yes, exactly. So, how do you feel about Fallout: My Hero Academia?
I feel like that's a terrible choice because there are no superpowers in Fallout. Unless you count the near godlike abilities of the main character, but those aren't superpowers, that's just someone who's lucky and doesn't die.
Yes, that's true enough. Now, I did see recently,
and has, I guess a couple of the radiation-based perks could be counted as quirks since they're hyper-specific and mostly useless, like regenerate your limbs when you're irradiated past a certain point.
Yeah. No, see, I actually did find a Fallout fic crossed over with Don Machi recently. And
okay, but see, that works fine.
No, not the way they did it, though.
Okay, hold on. You know what? We're going to try to be positive. Let's talk about how it would be a good way to do that, and then we'll talk about why the other one didn't work.
See, that actually,
since we can get that educational tag and put it to work.
That's true enough. But that is actually something I also wanted to say. I'm thinking about doing what do you call it? YouTube video. No, not a colonoscopy. YouTube videos. And yeah, taters, we'll do that story.
We'll get around to it.
I was thinking about doing a YouTube series called like Creative Revisionism or something like that. Where
that's an awful iffy. Something other than
revisionism. No, I think I like the name. Also, it's like one of the few things that probably hasn't been taken yet.
Well, do you want to make a channel or a video?
I was kind of thinking about making a channel for it because it was just going to mainly just be me.
Okay, fair.
I might bring you in if I was ever going to do a Star Wars one, but like the main idea would be for it where like I break it up into episodes. Obviously, it's not going to be a stream, and the general idea is I sit down and I go, okay, so Ruby fucked up. How would I do it if I was going to try and make this? You know, to lay out the plot in one episode, lay out the world building in one episode, lay out how the characters would be formed in one episode. Like, how would I... Like, I'm not going to focus on all the shit they did wrong. What I am going to focus on this in more of is how...
How is this bad? How could it be done in a better fashion?
Yeah, basically, like, for doing the new Star Wars series, like, that was one of the things I was thinking about, as well as, like, having you on for this one, and maybe your brother, too. Basically, the premise is you are the new director for the new Star Wars series.
Which
Disney...
Note, did you take a look at that?
Dude, I'm gonna do it this weekend.
That's fine. I just wanted to know what I could and couldn't talk about. So
yeah, I'm going to do it this weekend. But you are the director of the new Star Wars series. Disney has decided to give you complete creative freedom, and they have decanonized all of the extended universe. You now can set the future of Star Wars. What's the best way to go about it?
In a very important and, into something that's important to note, not just the future of Star Wars, but the future of an entire massive chunk of Star Wars that is fairly dear to fans' hearts.
Yeah, yes. But more the point is that, like, you are now in control. What should you, as a person who is in creative control of, in this example, Star Wars, do for creative for creative success? And I would be, focusing on, like, what EU elements did you like? What can you bring in to the movieverse that will both work with the audience, that you can be personally invested in? Because, of course, obviously, entering into anything creative-oriented as someone who didn't come up with the idea, you're going to be inherently less passionate about it. And so if you were just told, oh, well, you gotta do this, this, and this thing, it's like, okay, well, fucking whatever. Fuck me, licorice burns nicely. Cool. But, what do you bring in? What's better in a movie format? What elements do you stick with? What elements do you get rid of? What's going to be the least conflicting going forward? What things should you focus on? What beats should you touch from the previous shit? Like that, like I was going to do that for Ruby, Star Wars, anything popular, really. And the reason why I call it creative revisionism is because these things do need to be revised. Like fucking Terminator Dark Fate, just an absolute fucking shit show. The new Watchmen show, absolute fucking shit show. And I don't know where I'll go from there, but I just thought it'd be something that I could work on.
I hear you.
Here to remind you that Sneaky's breath does smell. Yeah, you are correct on that one. I have tonsil stones. I think that's what they're called.
And why does he know that your breath smells?
Oh, he doesn't. He was just making fun of me.
Ah.
Sir, do you have a virus on your Apple Windows computer? Download this program now to find out.
Oh, just a side note, that was great. So I supposedly got an email from the CEO of the company that I work at today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, not a theoretically impossible thing.
Okay.
Since it's a relatively small company and I work in the purchasing department.
Right.
But it was, dear name, I hope you aren't too busy, but if you are, peg it, I have an important project for you. First of all, I'm not sure what peg it is supposed to mean, but it's definitely not American slang, which my CEO is American.
Are you sure he's American? Have you tested him?
Yes. He mandated that we all buy fireworks with our paychecks on the 4th of July.
Ah, nice, excellent.
So, very American. But second of all, it was like some random name at like gmail.com. I was just depressed because later in the day, I saw a thing from IT where they were like, hey everybody, there's a spam email going around that's pretending to be from our CEO.
Fucking Christ.
Please pay attention to the subject header.
Oh my. So, speaking of stupid shit at work, this is something I can talk about. So we all had to fill out this are you aware workplace policy quiz thing, right? And one of the questions literally was, at what point in time does a bulletproof vest protect you? And the answer is when you wear it.
Okay. I mean, yes, that's an accurate assertion.
Yes, and I'm just sitting there like, No shit! Who the fuck goes, yeah, my bulletproof vest is in the car. I'm fine.
I mean, I guess you could also, like, try to hold it as a shield. It's a terrible idea, and you shouldn't do it, but you could theoretically do it.
During the impact is the technically correct answer. Yes, that is true, Arn. However, we're talking about more like 80 IQ people here.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Back to why you might be able to make Fallout work in Danmachi.
Sure. Yep. Let's go for it.
Okay. So first of all, both of them have experience, for want of a better word. It's less explicit in Fallout. It's highly specific in Danmachi. Right? Where people have... What do they call it in Danmachi, Sneaky?
Falma.
Yeah, Falma. I just wasn't sure how to say it. You know, they literally have XP. And it's a sick tattoo, apparently. But so they all have actual XP. So you can have levels. You can also have someone from Fallout show up, because Falma is, if I understand it correctly, it's just the measure of your life experiences. So theoretically,
okay, well,
someone who
no,
went through all the nonsense that happens in Fallout.
Okay, so that technically, no. So how it works in Danmachi is that your life experience is recorded in something called an Extella. Extelia? Right. Something like that. But that recording only starts when you get the blessing from your god, your patron god.
Okay.
And
it's only after the god
And
goes.
on top of that, your Falna does not show any statuses compared to before you got it. So technically speaking, everyone starts at level 1, everyone starts at no experience, it doesn't matter if you're the fucking Dragonborn or some dude who just came out of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
It does not record previous things. And XP and Danmachi is odd, what Sneaky said, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, however, after you get the blessing, the god can access your Extella with their blood, and by accessing this, they're able to both review your experiences, as in literally relive your memories of combat and etc., but also they can empower those experiences using their blood, granting you greater strength, speed, dexterity, etc., based on what you did previously.
Right. And that... Okay. So that was... I guess I just misread that when I was reading the light novels. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, there's an XP system in. So yes. It won't be crazy to take one XP system to the next, because the one in Fallout is just the theoretical idea of, you've shot 14 bandits. Well, guess what? That's some life experience, kid.
Yes. While it is a lot more freeform in what you can do with that life experience you've gained, yes, it does have a actually somewhat quote-unquote realistic in terms of powers and upgrades. Like, oh, you've gained a new level. You're better with shooting now.
Even Danmachi's is... I don't want to say real, but like... The idea of it makes sense,
No, it is actually, interestingly, a very realistic XP system in that... say you're fighting goblins, and originally killing a goblin gives you a lot of XP because you've never killed a goblin before, you've never really fought before, and, exactly, and this is the first time you're doing it, so you get lots of experience from it. But say you've killed 100 goblins now, and you're really good at killing goblins. Killing goblins no longer gives any, or it gives very, very little XP towards
Because
your
you're
next
Goblin
level.
Slayer.
Yes, because you're now very good at killing goblins, and there's no real experience to gain from them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can only level up once some stats reach certain points, and if you do a feat to impress the gods, you could theoretically grind for years, but unless you perform feats that normally happen on individual, you won't level up. Yeah, basically, yeah. You can gain in power, but the level up specifically come from when, like, you as a farmer kill a minotaur or something that's just so far out of your league.
It's not. I was gonna say it's not strictly speaking that it has to be some. The god doesn't have to be there to impress it. It has to be going, as I understood it, it has to be going beyond your limits.
Yes.
What? So, in Bell's case, because he was terrified of this Minotaur, and because he's, someone who shouldn't be fighting one because that thing came up, 4 floors? 5 floors?
10, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's more floors than I thought. But yeah, it came up a bunch of floors, and it's like, he shouldn't be fighting it.
Yep.
And then he wins. So they're like, congratulations, kid. That was impressive.
They need to go through some form of personal growth to gain a level. Sort of. It's tied between both experience, like, you can have a personal breakthrough, but not be able to acquire a level up. It's like a balance of everything. It's like you need to grow, you need to gain experience, but you also need to do something that is just outside your safe zone, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, so they both have XP systems. Number 2, most important thing. Nobody in Danmachi begins as a superhuman. No one in Fallout begins as a superhuman.
Well, except for the super mutants.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
Yes, no.
Also, super mutants would fall, as far as I'm concerned, they would fall under the classification of a monster as far as Danmachi's concerned.
Likely, yes.
But the point is, both start with base level humans. So it's not like you're going from, say, Fallout to Naruto, where everybody over here has chakra.
Right.
And can do ninja magic.
Right.
And this is just a guy with a gun. Which, sure.
Ninja magic versus guy with a gun.
Now, sure. If you're walking around with, like the AM rifle, sure. You'll probably be able to pick ninjas off. But you'll get one, and then the rest will have teleported around you and stabbed you to death.
Oh my way! Nani?
Yeah, pretty much. Point is, they both starts with normal people.
Sure. Yep.
That's another important fact, because what that means is, provided he can join a familia, the courier, the vault dweller, the lone wanderer, whoever, can, in the context of the story, without bending any of the universe's rules, reach the same level as someone like Ain. Or Bell, or whoever,
That's debatable. And the only reason why it's debatable is because Danmachi has the gods empower them, basically. That's what the whole divine blood is they do start to reach, like, utterly beyond normal human levels. Like, doesn't matter how strong you are as a human, fucking Ainz could outbench press our world's strongest man.
And I'm not saying that isn't the case, but I'm saying at some point Ainz started out as a normal human. And so in theory, as long as they did enough impressive stuff, the whoever could get there.
Now, this is the reason why I did say it's debatable, though, is because specifically in Fallout New Vegas, there is a lot of moments where the courier can undergo mutation. Obviously never displayed, but mutation in terms of turning radiation into a source of energy and helping cells regenerate instead of hurting you. Of being able to be upgraded with cybernetic implants, increasing their abilities beyond human levels. That's actually something that I liked compared to New Vegas versus 4, is that technically speaking, 10 is not beyond human. 10 is peak human.
Oh, you mean in terms of Fallout?
Yeah. And in 4, they let you go over that because it actually makes sense. Like, yes, you would be stronger than a peak human when you are in power armor.
Right.
Makes sense. Taking drugs can temporarily make you smarter than a peak human, as the Fallout verse has set up with mentats and shit. And in Vegas, they didn't let you do that. 10 was the maximum no matter what happened.
Okay, but that was something left over from Fallout 3.
Yeah, yes. I'm not gonna argue, the specifics as to why. It's just I think 4 had a better representational system in terms of the special stat numbers.
Yes, okay, that's fair. But that's a thing where you have to do something extra to get above that human level,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Get a mutation. Take drugs. Not recommended, but,
Yeah.
the option exists. And yeah, there is some stuff that's just completely nonsensical and unexplainable, like health regeneration in sunlight.
Well, I mean, it makes sense if your cells have chlorophyll in them.
Okay, look. You understand the point.
Yes, I understand the point.
But so we've covered. So, and really that is the most important thing is, now, obviously them showing up with a gun is going to be really weird and no one's going to know what it is, but as long as you handle it intelligently, gun is not going to be some kind of massive problem. Because gun has bullets. And as we know from the fact that realistic mode exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
From New Vegas on, realism mode is a thing.
Yep.
Wherein bullets have and not a puny piddly 0.01 weight.
Actually, reasonable weights. Yes.
So even if your whoever it is has 10 strength, right, or maybe 11 because
there is a
they
limit
got
to what they can
robo-arms.
carry. Well, that's another thing is that you can theorize that the Pip-Boy is usable as an item box of sorts. But yeah, go on.
Okay, but even if the Pip-Boy is usable as an item box, we've seen that even with a Pip-Boy, there's a limit to what you can carry.
Yes, yeah. I've actually seen some really interesting reasons as to why that is. But yeah, go on.
So, again, the point is, even if they did nothing but carry ammo,
yep,
in Fallout,
yep,
carrying, I think it was like 10,000 rounds of ammunition for just one gun,
yeah,
would still get you pretty close to the weight limit.
Something around that, yeah.
And sure, it's only going to take one bullet to kill everything from floors like 1 through 20, right? Well, okay, maybe floors 1 through 10.
See, that's another thing is that in Don Machi, the issue with trying to gauge the power of monsters in it is, at a certain point, normal human strength and normal human weapons don't work anymore, and suddenly you need to get God-blessed strength, and you need to get, God-blessed people making weapons for the God blessed strength people. And because of that, and because of those factors, it's really hard to judge if a gun would be effective. Like, maybe just even upping the caliber, we have it's really hard to judge there, because all of the equipment's different.
Isn't like floor 10 where it starts going, normal people are fucked beyond this point? Like, if you're not level 2,
It's like floor 5 you really shouldn't be going beyond as a beginner. Floor 10 is where it gets drastically harder, and you should start being level 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so assuming you have the equalizer of gun,
Yeah.
you can make it through floor 10. But past that point, it starts pointing out that normal stuff won't cut it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that... A normal knife won't cut it. You need a knife...
Literally!
Yes. As we saw, a normal knife won't do it.
Yeah.
You need something better. So then it does become a question of, if I go from, 9mm to 50 cal, am I suddenly back to being effective?
Or even 45-70.
Yeah. Or 5.56, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to determine, because the thing is, loristically speaking, I mean, Fallout has its own things, like the giant rad scorpions, death claws, Mireworks.
As we saw from...
All of these are creatures that 9mm lore-wise doesn't cut for. 10mm doesn't cut for. Like, you need, 308 and shit to actually legitimately fight death claws and giant rad scorpions. And
oh yeah, well, I was gonna say 308 is the minimum.
What are we talking about? We're talking about Fallout and guns, and realistically, what can you use comparatively from Fallout to Danmachi, and at what point you have to upgrade.
Because it is a difficult question, but no matter what, eventually they will run out of bullets. And Isley also does make a good point, which is around floor 10, that's where things start appearing in nonsense numbers, so that you have to have people.
Yeah. Look, this shit is too autistic for me. That is a patently false statement, Arn. That is a patently 100% false statement. You are the face of Norwegian autism. But anyway, point being is to wrap this all up so we can actually move on to the stories and get this night going. Is, yes, there is a somewhat crossoverable point in which characters...
Certainly better than a lot of things. Although,
yes.
I will say this. Danmachi's is...
Yeah, no, 7's...
In a similar way that Worm easily lends itself to crossovers.
Yeah.
As long as you aren't stupid, Danmachi's going to be one of the easiest things to write a crossover for.
50-50. Yeah, well, Isley, you're wrong. Level 7's the highest so far that has been revealed. One of the people that reached level 7 was Freya's captain. Orton?
Is Danmachi a pornography? Because it looks like a pornography.
It wants to be.
It tries very hard to ride the line.
Okay.
There's something... Otter.
I would say,
yeah,
because
Otter.
The English translation, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
The plot of the story is something I think you can identify with, Jorp. It's a guy, he worked on a farm for his teenage years, and then his grandfather who owned the farm dies. And he wants to go to the big city to make it big. And in the big city, he gets a job as an adventurer because he wants to go into the dungeon. Because he wants to pick up girls in the dungeon by saving them from monsters.
Okay.
Also, he's doing it because his grandfather told him to.
That too.
Because his grandfather told him that's what heroes do. They pick up chicks.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He isn't, no. But we've just been autistically talking about how this crossover could work. And now I'm going to tell you quickly how it didn't work in the story that I read, and then we're going to move on to Potato's paid story. So, the story that I read, they had the Courier of New Vegas post everything that happened in New Vegas, every quest completed, King Captain of Big Mountain, and they did all the technologies, and they upgraded him with a bunch of cybernetics and trash, and he had a couple mods in the story. He had the cybernetics mod that overhauled the cybernetic system, and added a bunch of implants and shit. He added all those into the story. There was a mod called GRX, which allowed you to modify guns, and he added that into the story. And there's some other shit that I forget, but it's not important. But the important part is that he tried to do this whole thing. The Courier is level 50, and he has all these... And he kept referring to them like as if they were perks, and not as in like perks of like, this is just shit that these are just, bonuses that I got from living in the wasteland for so long. He didn't phrase them like that. He phrased them like they were perks from a game.
So instead of stuff like, I've learned, I spent so much time with guns and I'm such a gun nut, I learned how to hand pack bullets.
Yeah. He instead, like for jury rigging, for example, he was just like, with the jury rigging perk, I can just take a rolling pin and repair the sword because they're like the same thing, right? Haha. And it's just like... Yes, that is what the perk does. However... No.
However, no.
And other shit like that. I just couldn't get into the story because he just kept pulling me out with these really... He's trying to force the game of the Fallout game mechanics into Don Machi, but only for the Courier. Like, that's literally paused time. And it's just like...
Well, and the problem is, that's a really terrible idea, because like we said, Don Machi already possesses a way for you to make someone superpowered, in addition to a great and fantastic excuse for why he wouldn't have all these superpowers.
And then they were like, oh yeah, the Courier is just so strong and fast. He is able to totally 1v1 like level 5s and shit. And it's like... In-game perks, Isley, in-game perks.
What about the out-of-game perks? That's what I'm concerned about.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to unlock out-of-game perks. I believe that is a woman-only feature.
Oh.
The sigh from Atin. But yeah, it was just...
I don't understand why Twitch started censoring us.
Oh, damn it.
Everyone knows that Twitch started censoring us because of Jorb.
What did I just invite Atin to? I was trying to adjust the volumes.
I don't know what you invited me to. Brutal Smash Beast Chansey?
Oh god, that's the Discord server for my Marvel Strike Force clan.
So, the
gotcha.
sponsored...
I'm not missing out on anything important.
The sponsored story of the night is Napoleon
I don't
Dynamite.
like that it's one click and it sends invites to people. That's weird.
Is a Napoleon Dynamite story, the movie. Everyone knows Napoleon Dynamite, the movie?
If you
Yeah, I
don't,
saw that.
what the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, good. So, it's a humor fic with the premise Napoleon is out of tater tots. Gosh. I haven't seen. Isley and Arn have not seen Napoleon Dynamite. You guys.
How the what? How have you not seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Next, you two are gonna tell me you've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off
If the answer to that is no,
or
by the
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Well, I know Arn, I believe, is a little bit younger, but isn't Isley like our age?
Yeah, Isley's our age.
That was kind of
Supposedly.
like one of those
Supposedly,
generational movies,
yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. Everybody
It
saw
was.
that.
Well, I was gonna say everybody saw Napoleon Dynamite, and everybody saw Breakfast Club, and everybody saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There was
Dude, we
like,
saw the whole fucking Molly Ringwald trio, man. Say Anything, fucking 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Fuck world.
Dude, the first time Molly Ringwald pulled her titties out, man, that was fucking life.
I haven't seen Breakfast Club, but that was intentional. Why would you intentionally avoid Breakfast Club?
Like, it's actually a great movie.
Wait, Molly Ringwald wasn't in Say Anything. What's the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know. Author's note. Hi. This is written by the infamous me and my little sister, Malin Bloom. Well, not really. This doesn't have a time frame. It's just a random day or whatever. If you read and review, we will give you a delicious base. So sit
Pretty
back,
in Pink. It was Pretty in Pink.
relax, and find those tots. Oh, Pretty in Pink. You know what's been stuck in my head recently? Specifically because of my job? Fucking High School Musical. And
Why?
And their mainline theme song, "We're All in This Together."
Yeah, I'm familiar with the song. I've heard it once or twice.
It's a blight on humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. You know, it's what I get for having three sisters. You know, they like watching it. Okay.
Three sisters, you say? I'm going to have to isekai into Sneaky's life.
If you want it, you can have it, man.
Yeah, I don't think you want that, my man.
Oh, eh.
Pronounces bass as bass. It is bass.
Remember in Mega Man when they called... I always pronounce him as Bass, because in the original Mega Man games, when they first added voice acting, they pronounced it as Bass.
Bassman?
Well, yeah, like in Mega Man 8, when they have the anime opening and Mega Man and him are fighting, and he's like, Bass, why are we fighting? We're not enemies. And I was like, Bass, why they don't call him Bass? Because his dog is literally called Treble.
Mm-hmm.
Every character is a musical reference, and we got Bass.
Drop the bass.
About to play this shit on my bass guitar.
You know, I bet somewhere out there on the internet there is someone that screams, "Drop the bass," and they just throw the fish at the ground as hard as possible. Anyway, it was a cold day, and an exceptionally cold day, and Napoleon Dynamite forgot his sweater. That is an actual video. Thank you, Potatoes. The bus reached his stop and he climbed out. The bus driver waited a second before closing the sliding doors and called out sluggishly, "There's no school tomorrow, kid, or for the next 2 weeks, so don't forget." You think I would forget winter break? Gosh. God, I would... I don't know if I can even attempt that fucking... Is that an accent? Would you guys call that an accent?
It's not so much an accent as an inflection.
Inflection, yeah.
It's a something, alright.
Like, I haven't seen the movie. It's like, you think I would forget winter break? Gosh.
Yeah, but like, though, there's like even a specific way he says, like, gosh. Like, I can't get my voice, like, high enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I can do it.
Whatever happened to the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite?
I swear to fucking hell, though, I went to school with someone back when Napoleon Dynamite came out, and they looked like a younger Napoleon Dynamite. Now it's just like, oh god.
John Heder. Apparently, he's in Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is why I haven't seen him because I don't watch that show.
Yeah, that's no.
I was gonna say I know one thing about that show. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, no. I liked Gravity Falls, even though it was Cal Arts, but it like didn't go full Cal Arts, so it was still tolerable. But I just liked the show. I wasn't like, oh man, you guys gotta watch Gravity Falls. There's like, oh, I watched Gravity Falls. It was pretty neat.
I've seen better, seen worse too.
Yeah, a lot of worse. Some people are complete idiots, he thought, and ran all the way home. Napoleon, I'm going out for the night. Make dinner, and don't forget to feed Tina, Uncle Rico said, tying his shoes. Napoleon looked up from his totally awesome drawing. Why can't you feed Tina? You're going outside anyway, Napoleon said. 'Cause I said so. Oh, don't forget about dinner by spending all your time on stupid drawings, Uncle Rico retorted and went for the door. If they're so stupid, why do you keep trying to look at them and steal my ideas? Have some freaking sense. When would I ever need to draw a half eagle, half crab? You need to get a job. Uncle Rico called and closed the door. You need to get a life. Gosh. Well, I mean, at least they are kind of like actually accurately recreating the movie interactions. Napoleon got up and stashed away his drawings. The dryer was open in the other room, and he pulled out his favorite sweater. Pulled it over his head, but it was 2 times smaller than it was before. He tried pulling it down, but it still remained 3 inches above his waistline. Doesn't anybody read the labels anymore to check for dry cleaning only? No one dry cleans these days. Except for people with like suits and shit that don't have enough money to buy their own suit machine thing. Because that's a thing now, by the way. It's like this stand-up washer that you put the suit into, and it like washes and dries the suit and steams it and shit.
Yeah, well, and like it's there's tons of stuff that's even like, for crying out loud, we have like Joseph A. Banks sells wrinkle-free dress shirts. They're literally like dress shirts, and they're not like the best-looking thing in the world, but they look pretty good. And you can just throw that in the washing machine.
Like there is, at least modern day, there is a point where you're just short on enough money that you're buying the like Kirkland brand shirts and the Amazon brand shirts that.
Yeah, listen, you guys check
they
your
look
fucking
good
privilege.
enough.
I buy all my clothes at Target and Kohl's.
Who the fuck goes to Target
I buy
anymore?
from Joseph A. Bank when there are 50% off sales.
I go to Target because I can get a t-shirt and jeans at Target for like $30 total. I'm out the door, man.
Dude, that's a ripoff.
Fantastic, but some of us have to wear dress shirts for work.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, some of us are on the work-at-home master race.
Yeah, congratulations.
Now that I'm a YouTube star, I never have to work again.
Oh yeah, how'd that get money from China plan go?
Oh, they haven't emailed me back, those sons of bitches.
Yeah. Well, weird. They might have seen your latest video.
Maybe the racist slurs didn't help you?
Nah.
Just a thought.
Maybe. You can never tell with these things.
So, he goes to the freezer and he tries to find some tater tots to eat, and he can't find anything. He even checked the bread box for them. He picked up the phone and called Pedro. Is Pedro there? Yes, this is Pedro. This is Napoleon. I need you to do something really important for me, and you gotta do it fast, and you gotta do it before my stomach eats itself. Can that happen? Of course it can. I read it in a book. Go see if you have any tater tots. No, we don't have any tater tots. We have hash browns. Hash browns are amateurs to tater tots. They're like distant cousins, and they taste like decrepit crap. Well, sir, that really depends on the brand. What are you gonna do now? I guess I'm gonna get some tater tots. Okay, see you. Bye. Yeah, Napoleon doesn't really lend itself to a written medium. It's also
I
somewhat
would say
generational in its
just
humor.
because it's like it's got a lot of
It's also very
like,
generational in its humor.
yeah.
Yeah, it does not hold up today as a movie.
No, it doesn't. I'll
Like
admit
it was kind of funny.
that. You know
Like
what
even
does
back
hold up
then,
though? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
oh, Fierce Tales holds up great, and I would say Breakfast Club holds up pretty well.
Yeah, Breakfast Club's still fun. It's not culturally relevant anymore because it feels foreign to kids today who watch it and see these like character archetypes. But it's a great movie.
What do you mean?
Well, like you have like the jock kid, you have the criminal, you have the prep girl, you have the nerd. And look, okay, maybe I'm wrong because I graduated high school over 10 years ago now, you know. I feel like kids today, they're either transgender or they're trying to be transgender. You don't have all these character archetypes anymore.
Not gonna touch that one other than to say that you're definitely wrong.
Anyway, so Napoleon goes to the grocery store. They don't carry tater tots right now. He demands to speak to the manager. The manager comes over. He's like, "Give me some tater tots." Manager's like, "We don't have any tater tots." And yeah. And then, so exhausted and starving, Napoleon goes back home. And he figured he would just starve to death, and the whole world would come to his funeral. And then they would join together to stop evil. But he was still hungry for tater tots, and it was only 6 o'clock. Even Pedro was having dinner, whatever people from Mexico eat. Probably a spicy taco version of tater tots. Even Tina was eating. Wait a minute, he didn't feed Tina. Tina, give me back those tots, you fat sheep. In her mouth was a frozen box of tater tots. Uncle Rico must have thrown it to her. Uh-huh.
I mean, look, can we? Okay, good. It's nearly done.
And, tots are tots. Yay. Thanks for paying us. I don't know why you search for these stories specifically, but okay.
You spent money to have this read for some reason.
Some fucking reason.
Potato Man is a goddamn patron of the arts, and I love his choices.
He is something, all right. He is something all right. All right. So I was originally going to do that Fallout My Hero Academia story, but I feel like we need something to just be really shit for us to laugh at. So,
Because I mean, there was nothing explicitly wrong with the Napoleon Dynamite story. It just is a medium that isn't good for it.
yeah. Yeah. So how about a Naruto High School D times D story? Yep, that sounds good. You're the best, Sneaky. Thanks, me.
He's reached that level.
What the fuck am I looking at?
I'm not sure.
What?
First of all, that's some. That's still got to be a pretty uncomfortable amount of that's a pretty severe leg cross.
Also, those are some significantly thick thighs, and I'm not sure how to feel about them.
In addition to the fact that there's somehow here's the thing, right? Normal people can do that, but normal people in armor also that cannot be comfortable resting your bare thigh on a fucking cold ass piece of metal armor.
I don't think the thighs are covered by armor, so they're resting their thigh on the. Can't even. Oh
Chain?
God, no!
I mean, it looks like
No! Ball alert! Fucking ball alert! Cannot rest legs like that, Esmail.
well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we have to do all the man spreading.
Alright, so I'm gonna go with tentative female on this one of
that's
unknown
definitely a
origin.
Oh yeah.
You can tell by the eyes. You can always tell an anime person's gender by their eyes. If everything else is falling apart, you look deep into their eyes.
Yes, it is female. It's his Naruto version of EU from Is This a Zombie? Oh shit, it's Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer.
You just found this? You really expect me to believe you just found this?
I mean, yes.
Press X to doubt.
Dude, do you know how often he updates? He's on
No.
the front page all the fucking time.
I mean, yes. Oh! Aura was kind enough to link what it is.
Oh, so he did. Oh! It's the Naruto. Oh, I thought you meant like Naruto version as in like a Naruto-fied verse character from a character from that. No, you literally mean it's Naruto drawn like EU.
I mean, of course it's Naruto. It's Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer.
You know, now I'm really doubting that claim that it's a girl. Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer does like his dick girls.
I mean, that technically does not remove the XY chromosome, but
No, the penis definitely removes the XY chromosome.
depends on how it got. Was it magic? Because just because Merlin slapped a dick on Artoria didn't make her mad.
Let's
Okay,
be
well,
fair
No
here.
matter
Let's not
what
be-
Mordred might want it to be.
Let's not be rude about it, but if you're at the point where you're removing your dick, you probably have an extra Y chromosome anyway.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, God, Jorp. Oh, we're gonna get letters.
From the fans, baby.
XY is male, not female. XX is female. Well, that is a technically correct statement.
Not particularly relevant to what we're talking about here.
We we require additional chromosomes. Not enough Vespane gas.
By the way, side note, apparently, because there are so many streaming services now, people are sad that piracy is on the rise. I'm like, well, no shit. You've stratified everything. I have to pay like $50 a month just to have access to everything, or the magic of piracy.
I still remember that one webcomic where it's just like, oh my god, there's so many choices. I guess I'll just pirate them all. And then, you know, the like Netflix and YouTube come out, and it's like, well, I guess I don't need my pirate hat anymore. And then it's like modern day. Hello, old friend.
Yeah, well, because it's like the biggest issue is there's like 4 shows I want to watch right now.
Yeah.
They're all on different platforms.
Don't want to pay for all. Yeah.
Well, not just that, and all of those platforms are like, you know, the cheapest is Disney Plus at like $6.99. If you want like HD Netflix, that's like $12.95.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna get Disney Plus, and then I found out they're offering a deal if you already have Hulu, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Disney Plus acquired Hulu or something.
Yeah, well, Disney acquired Fox, and Fox owned Hulu.
Yeah. Also, if you have Verizon phone service, you also get Disney Plus for free for a year or
Do
something.
you fuckers think I'm made out of money? First, it's buying our clothes at Joseph A. Bake. Now it's, do you have Verizon phone service? Look, I buy my clothes at Target. I have phone service from T-Mobile. What do you want?
I want you to make that YouTube money. Live your best
Well, I
life.
mean, technically, I'm not paying for my phone service. I'm on a family plan, and the only reason why my family even deigned to put me on a family plan is because it made their plan cheaper.
Oh, I'm on a family plan too, except I pay for the family plan. I'm paying for 4 people.
Verizon is cheaper than T-Mobile, according to Super Potatoes. So it looks
Really?
like you're just dumb.
Well, no. I'm on a family. I have 4 people, and I pay about $135 a month. Can Verizon beat that? Because if so, I'll switch. I'm not married to fucking
I mean,
T-Mobile.
I'm pretty sure you can go to Verizon and be like, "Yo, can you beat this?" And they will, for the specific purpose of getting you to pay them.
Maybe. Then I'll have freedom. Then I can watch all my Disney shit too, man. I can watch reruns of Simpsons in terrible quality.
Exactly.
Goddamn widescreen format. Those fucking shysters.
Alright, so this is Naruto the Immortal Sage Trainer. This is a rewrite of Master Sage Trainer, since my files for Master Sage Trainer were destroyed from a really bad accident. What'd you do? Fucking jizz on your hard drive?
No, see, that can't be it because that's just a regular Thursday for him.
I have another reason for this, but that reason is a personal reason.
Alright? Maybe Sneaky was right. Or alternately, alarmingly, I was right.
Something bad happened to the flash drive I had, and it got destroyed. Arn says it was used as a sexual instrument.
Listen, I'm not sure how you did that with a flash drive, and I don't want to know either.
Also,
but
I
now
would like to proudly remind
I
everyone.
would say, but since Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer has about 1 million fans who are rabid as hell, let's not disparage the man for things we can't prove.
Oh no,
Like,
I
it all
love
depends
it.
on how much RAM your flash drive has.
I would say let's disparage him for his awful writing instead,
Fair enough.
because they'll still get mad about that, but at least it's factual.
True enough. So recently, YouTube has enacted a new policy that makes it so you personally have to mark videos as kid friendly or not. But however, they will also have a bot going around detecting to see if they think videos are kid friendly. And if they detect a video that's not kid friendly, that's not marked as kid friendly, you get fined $42K.
Wait, for not marking the kid-friendly video kid-friendly.
Yes.
See, I could understand marking the not kid-friendly videos kid-friendly.
No,
getting you a
it's
penalty.
because of the FTC, which, by the way, fuck the FTC. They can suck out my asshole. But
wait, no. What is the FT? How is the FTC involved?
So Google actually ended up losing a lawsuit against the FTC because the FTC said that Google is a publisher. And because they are a publisher, that means they are responsible for the content posted on their platform. And because of that, they must follow COPPA, which is the Child and something and Privacy Act or whatever.
Goddamn FTC won't let me be.
Which-
Won't let me be me, so let me see.
Which means that there were certain things being shown on both child videos, and YouTube was recommending non-child safe, quote-unquote, videos to children. On top of all of that, they were also gathering data from children, which is also illegal under this act.
I would say TikTok had that problem too.
And because of those three things, they made a new video bracket, I suppose you could call it, called Child Friendly, and they have disabled all information gathering on these videos. They have restricted ad content on these videos, and they have non-personalized ads on these videos. So what these three things mean is that as a YouTuber, your videos won't get recommended. You
I
won't
would
be
say
getting.
they just killed every channel that's aimed at like
Yes.
kids.
On top of not being recommended, because you can't recommend videos to someone if you can't gather data on what they're watching. Your ads, you're only going to be getting about 10% of the ads you previously had on your videos. So your income's going to drop massively. And if you make videos and then don't mark them as kid-friendly, the FTC is then coming in and fining you $42K.
Wait, why is the FTC fining you for not marking it kid-friendly if it is?
Because
That I don't understand.
Because YouTube gathers data on non-kid-friendly videos. And that's illegal.
So then you're illegally gathering data on children.
Yes. Well, basically what's happening is that Google is using legal loopholes to force you, the creator, to be responsible instead of YouTube, as they are a publisher being responsible. This is sort of the thing I was talking about in my Discord earlier, in that whenever YouTube and Google and Facebook and Twitter and other such websites don't want to be caught in legal ramifications for whatever classification they fall under, they just change what they're falling under. So whenever it's advantageous for them to be a platform, they're suddenly a platform under the law. Whenever it's advantageous for them to be a publisher, they're now a publisher. And so the whole point of me talking about this is, fuck, shit, piss, pussy, dick, we're never gonna be a kid-friendly video.
Well, I could have told you that.
I would say, listen, we were never under the illusion that would be the
We never have to worry about any of this, because we were never gonna get there in the first place.
I mean, in the long term, what this is going to do, YouTube is on a slow death spiral, and by slow, I mean it's probably going to be a fucking decade, but I can...
Oh, no, dude, I within the next 2 years, if they don't turn course.
Anyway, look, it's gonna die.
Oh, yeah.
The only question is how quickly.
Well, it depends on if BitChute can get their shit together, launch a legitimate streaming service, because they're already a great video. I double host all my videos on BitChute. It's fantastic. They just don't have any real streaming service yet.
Well, the other problem with BitChute is that I have to pay them to upload videos, which, I mean, I understand.
What? Why? Why are you paying them?
Because they won't let me upload videos if I don't.
What the fuck? I upload videos every day on BitChute and I don't have to pay.
Yeah, they
bothered maybe?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no. If I want to start a channel on BitChute, I have to pay $5 a month.
Let me look. I'm gonna open an incognito window and go look at this. What?
Yep. So anyway, welcome, Lord Seventh. Let me tell you, it's such an honor to have you in my humble abode this day. And then, of course, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer proceeds to make rookie author mistakes, even though he's been writing for like 7+ years now. Truly, it's become his style, quote, in air quotes, because I don't really think you can claim to have a style when you're retarded. I mean, mentally disabled. It's not so much a style at that point as just that's life. It's how it goes. Everybody knows. BitChute has quality problems, yeah. Yeah, it does too. At some point, Google's gonna cut YouTube loose. No, they're not. They're not gonna cut YouTube loose because it is. While it's not profitable, Google is exceedingly political at this moment, and because of that, YouTube is too useful.
Well, no, not even that. You're leaving out the fact that they can afford to eat losses on YouTube if they
YouTube hasn't been profitable since Google acquired them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm aware. I'm saying they can afford to eat losses on it as long as it gives them oodles of data that they can just sell
Yeah,
and use in their own targeted
that's
stuff.
what I'm saying. Is it's too useful for them to cut loose.
But the American people cannot afford to eat the bug burger, so it's time now to get this shit out of our lives.
Gamers rise up.
Yeah, basically.
No, you know what? Gamers, take a nap, come back in a couple years. We'll try this again later.
Oh, we're rising up, baby. It's Gamergate 3.0. It's fucking time. We're gonna get these whores out of our video games, and we're gonna fix Pokemon, and we're gonna fix Kojima, and we're gonna have the Snatchers too.
Okay, listen, if by fix Kojima you mean prevent him from ever writing another game,
No, it's
I'm
gonna
on
be.
board.
It's we're gonna get Donald Trump to tweet about Death Stranding, and then Kojima's gonna give us Snatchers too.
I would say, listen, I want Kojima to keep making games, but I don't want him to keep writing them.
I want Kojima to get off the fucking coke.
I mean that's
Well,
also.
would you
suggestion.
accept a different compromise there, Jorp, if he changed his name to Kokejima?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Anyway, so bright blue eyes, blonde hair, Aryan heritage, Naruto. It's Naruto. 7th Hokage Naruto. Anyone familiar with Naruto knows this Naruto?
Yeah, I fucking know my Naruto lore, man. Don't even play. I love Naruto's my shit, man. Naruto Shippuden got me pumped.
What about Boruto?
No.
No, I haven't seen Boruto. I
Don't.
don't really care for it.
I was say, oh, is that the thing we don't talk about?
No one's seen Boruto to the point where they're rebooting Boruto.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. Like, the viewing numbers on Boruto are so bad, they're like, shit, maybe we fucked up, and they're rebooting it. Was canon Naruto ever Hokage? Yes?
When did he become Hokage?
At the end of the story?
Oh, I never finished it.
It don't.
I would say, the story ends and he gets what he wants.
Okay, I mean that's the story arc, you know. I
Well, see, the thing is with Naruto is Shippuden is it went from like, okay, nod your head along, alright, I'm following along, okay, yep, pain attacks Naruto, okay, the village gets destroyed. Oh shit, Jiraiya died. That's a really sad scene. Like, okay,
I would say that actually made me
actual emotional impact right there. Like, holy shit, there.
Yo, when they murked my boy Asuma, dude, that was the fucking emotional shit.
That was actually another really great scene. Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Dude, the whole arc where Shikamaru goes and gets revenge for that shit was epic.
Also, cannibal deer or like flesh-eating deer. That was
Yeah, that was fucking wild.
Like, it's like, so I've chopped the immortal guy into pieces, Highland, because I can't kill him, so I've Highlandered him.
Yeah.
Shikamaru. But how am I gonna guard him? Oh, luckily my family just has a forest of, Class S man-eating deer that even, high-level ninja are just like, no, I ain't messing with that.
The Naruto the Last movie, called The Last, it would be a good recommendation for Jorp to watch if he hasn't already. Apparently,
yeah,
Isaac says.
I've seen up through like the when they went to the big World War thing and they were bringing back all the fucking random
okay. Basically,
like,
you don't even need to watch that shit. Just watch The Last. It's
okay.
I would say,
so,
for what it's worth, you are like 100 episodes away from the end.
The World War shit can be described as the following. So all the dead guys stop being dead, and then they get killed again, and then zombies show up, except the zombies are all plants, and they all die.
Yeah, like I saw Zabuza and Haku, and I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, and then after that, Madara, the big bad, reveals that he was the big bad this whole time, and punches the heart out of Sasuke.
Okay.
Yeah.
It then temporarily becomes Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and then rips Naruto's soul out. It's just like, there was actually a legitimate moment where I was like, is Kishimoto actually going to end this series like this? Where fucking both of the quote-unquote antagonist and protagonist are are dying / dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's how the chapter ended. I was like, oh, is this really happening? No, it's not really happening. So they both die, and then the grandfather of the real big bad shows up and is like, guys, I'm going to give you a power-up so you can become Super Saiyans, so you can defeat my daughter or whatever, or my mom or some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
My mom / my daughter /
the alien, she's an alien too or something? I don't fucking know.
also a god.
Yeah, so basically they become Super Saiyans and get resurrected by the Dragon Balls. And then Madora's like, alright, time to do my real ultimate plan. And then Zetsu goes, no, actually, I was pulling your strings. And then Orochimaru appears.
Pulling my strings, but I was pulling your strings to pull my strings.
Yeah, that, and then he gets eaten by Zetsu, and then Zetsu gets eaten by the Super Saiyan's mom, and then Super Saiyan Naruto and Super Saiyan Sasuke then fight the Super Saiyan mom.
This is retarded.
Yeah, and then at one point it gets even more.
There's a reason we're telling you to skip a lot of this.
This is why I'm giving the synopsis in the most ridiculous manner possible, because it's actually more exciting than what happened. And so,
although there were some okay fight scenes.
No, oh, dude, DNA sword.
I said some okay fight scenes.
So then Sasuke and Naruto do a fusion dance, and they turn into a giant skyscraper-sized Kyuubi, but the Kyuubi's wearing samurai armor.
He's not making any of this up, by the way.
I'm not. I fucking wish I was making this up.
Like, it's one of those things where you're like, okay. I bet you're sitting there thinking, alright, at which point did he start making this up? The answer is none of it.
And then they're like, oh, I am going to rip all the souls out of all the ninja. And then Naruto was like, no, I'm going to grab onto this rope made out of souls and pull it back. And then everyone's like, we too shall grow... no, it gets even better, actually, I just remembered. So, Naruto is gripping this soul rope. And then the actual ninjas that are still awake attach a normal fucking rope to the soul rope and also start pulling.
Yeah.
And it was a literal tug of war. And it was just so fucking stupid. Yeah, and then they beat him, and they do a lot of big attacks, and then they beat the big bad. And then Sasuke turns to Naruto and goes, Naruto, I'm still evil. I'm gonna go kill the world now.
I mean, that was
and then
something.
he gets the stupid slapped out of him.
And then Naruto kicks the shit out of them, and they both blow their arms off, and they fall out of the sky in their final attacks because it was something or other, and they're both tired and they're falling, and they fall on this giant rock, and both of their arms are bleeding because they've been blown off, and the puddle of blood forms from each arm, and it looks like they're holding hands, and then the camera pans backwards, and it shows them the two rocks they're lying on is actually the arms also holding hands from the statues that they're the reincarnations of the previous Super Saiyans. And and it was like, okay, I guess, question mark. And then they did this really fucking trippy epilogue scene where a whole bunch of people that you're just like, why the fuck are these people married, are now married? And Naruto's the Hokage. And the last...
By the way, even though Sasuke tried to kill the entire world, he's just on probation in the village.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the guy who stopped him said he's on probation, I don't really think anyone can contest that.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So, basically, if Goku beats Vegeta, and then everyone's like, well, Vegeta tried to blow up the world, and then Goku goes, yeah, but I beat up Vegeta, and he didn't blow up the world, so... Just leave him alone, guys. Can anyone really say no to Goku?
Fair.
Barracks has given me more money. Thank you, Barracks. I appreciate your continued patronage.
You people should stop wasting money on this, but
No,
we do
definitely.
appreciate you using it.
And Naruto gets with Hinata the best girl, which counts for something. That is highly debatable. I disagree with all of it. But anyway, let's actually read this story, and then we can move on to other shit. No, everyone knows that Kushina is actually the best girl.
I see we have a Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer here.
I see we have a Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer dick sucker here. Sakura was the only other option. I'm just saying Master Aryan Race, Ino times Naruto. Just think about it.
I think that would make it. I think that kid would be like, why is dad dead, and why does mom sometimes wake up, and then dad wakes up, but then sometimes mom is asleep and dad's awake and says very different things.
I mean, and then there's also the whole clone thing, and then Naruto's perfect transformation technique. Honestly, the kid would be just exceedingly confused as Ino's taking over Naruto, and Naruto's making clones and then turning them into a picture-perfect representation of Ino, and it's just it just get weird. That poor kid.
See, here's what I think would be great. You take that idea for a concept, and you just have it so that one day they both just get massively concussed, and they're both just trying to remember which am I? Who am I supposed to be? Am I real? Am I a clone? Is this the right body? Just make it like
just the mind fuckery becomes just so extreme. The person's just like, what?
They're both just like, I don't remember what's going on or who I'm supposed to be.
Are you pretending to be me today? No, you're you today. Who am I? Like, just fucking waiting for Godot it.
Mm-hmm. Just absolute ridiculous.
Oh god, what the fuck happened?
Anyway, ignoring that joke,
Anyway, let's just keep on moving just forward, okay? So, Naruto is standing there, and he's the Hokage, and he's gonna listen to a very important message that's very important.
The very important message is why he should become a woman.
Yep, probably.
To help decrease the gender disparity between Hokages.
Indeed. I am Daimyo from Land of Fang, and then Naruto was like, oh yeah, this guy. You've changed a lot since the last time I met you. And then two Anbu revealed themselves. And then the first one was a girl who was petite and like a lolly or something. Who also had blue eyes. And a cat mask. And she came up to she was short enough to come up to Naruto's abs. Yeah, so lolly. Yep. As Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer says, petite body type.
Perfectly acceptable age, says Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer.
Guys, just because she looks like a 5-year-old girl.
Wait, Kishimoto didn't write Boruto? I didn't know that.
No, Kishimoto actually more or less retired. He's just like what's the term I'm looking for?
Executive producer?
No, sort of what George Lucas does with the current Star Wars films. They bring him on and he like tells them stuff, and they sometimes listen to it.
To be fair, that's actually changed quite a bit since supposedly. We don't know how true this is, but supposedly the test screenings for The Last Jedi bombed horribly.
Mm-hmm. Creative
And so then
advisor,
they did a
thank
second
you.
cut, and that was a little bit better, but it was still pretty bad. So then they brought George Lucas in, and reportedly the George Lucas cut did fantastic.
Yeah, wow, George Lucas, the guy who made Star Wars, knows how to make Star Wars movies. Fucking shocker. And I think the best part about that, because I know what article you're talking about, the best part about those 3 screenings is the current director, hated the best Star Wars cut.
What do you mean?
It was reported that he hated the George Lucas cut. Like he didn't, he didn't like it.
The George Lucas cut scored better than
like he didn't like watching it. Like he didn't enjoy watching it.
Well, that's hardly surprising because the George Lucas cut, first of all, you have to take into account the fact that no matter how hard you try, bias is a thing, and it's pretty hard to suppress the bias.
I know, but what I'm saying is I'm aware. Well, no, when they do the 3 cuts, they don't tell people who made the cut until afterwards, so they can prevent that sort of bias.
I'm saying for the director.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying though is that I am not surprised that the director that is currently destroying Star Wars disliked the highest rated cut for Star Wars.
Yes, that's unsurprising.
That's like, you know, that's like the pyromaniac getting mad at the firefighter for putting out the building.
I'm just saying there's a certain amount of extenuating circumstances that I do think deserve to be considered, namely the fact that no matter how good of a person you are, and I'm not saying and this person is absolutely not some kind of saint.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and watch, if you write a book, and then somebody else gets hired to rewrite your book, then you go and read that, you're obviously going to hate a lot of stuff in it.
That's true,
because you're reading, you know that you're reading the version of the book that is a replacement for yours because people hate yours, and then when you find out, but my version of the book sold 1,000 copies and their version sold 10,000, you're gonna get even madder because you either have to double down on the anger or have the crushing realization that, oh my god, I did a terrible job and I'm really bad at this.
Sort of, but it's also it's like the Lord of the Rings series exists and you write a separate series continuing the Lord of the Rings series and people don't like it, and then fucking Tolkien rises from the grave and writes the 3rd book for your series.
Tolkien is so angry.
He just fucking bursts out of that grave and writes the 3rd book, and people really like it. It's yes, I understand personal bias, and yes, I understand people are not the same when it comes to emotions that I am, but it's like, no shit. The person who wrote the original series is better at writing the series than you are. Fucking wow! Who saw that coming? Besides literally everyone. It is so absurdly rare. This is what I was talking about, though. And, like, this is the whole creative revisioning thing that I was talking about, is that it is so hard to make a sequel to a series you did not originally write. Because you don't have the same passion and insight that the person who originally wrote the series did.
It's almost like people shouldn't do that.
I was saying the only time I've ever heard of that working out even remotely well was Wheel of Time.
Yes. But weren't they also like good friends or like an apprentice or something like that?
No.
No?
It's just that well, first of all, the wife went through I think it was 5-6 people before she settled on Sanderson.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
So she did do interviews and oh my gosh, I can't think. What's his name? The guy who wrote them had left a bunch of there was essentially a rough draft of the book in existence.
Mm-hmm.
And Sanderson had to finish it, although he added there were so many notes and Sanderson added so much that it ended up being 3 books instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is,
But he
that's
basically
the
made
only
it his
time I've
own.
heard of it working well.
Actually, the only time I've ever heard of someone doing a rehash of something that was not theirs originally and it going over great is actually the Johnny Cash Hurt song, which was originally a cover of the Nine Inch Nails Hurt. And then was it Trent Baker is his name?
Trent Reznor?
Reznor, yes, there we go. Actually came out and said, just like, holy shit, Johnny Cash totally made Hurt his own. In terms of, like, just how well he did with it. And that's the only case I've ever personally seen. But again, Nutty Professor remake versus the original.
Which one's the Eddie Murphy one?
Speaking of remaking original shit, did you guys hear about Ghostbusters 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I don't care.
Apparently, the Ghostbusters female edition, those actors are actually really mad about it.
Well, I'll bet they are. Too bad their movie sucked.
God, it was awful. Anyway, so we have Lolly Anbu, and then he goes on to describe the other Anbu, who was also a lolly. And then he's like, you brought guards. And he's now sad about this. That is, that's like going up to the president of the United States and the president's just like, hello, yes. And then there's just 2 Secret Service guys just in each corner of the room. And then you being like looking right at the president and just being like, oh, your guards are in this room. It's like, can you be any more shifty at that exact moment?
Oh, you brought your guards, President Trump. How strange of you.
President insert here. Anyway, yeah. Naruto didn't know his name, only his appearance, blah blah, thick eyebrows. And his brown hair is gray from stress. Shikamaru suggested I bring them for appearances. It's a Shoto and the lolly. The other one's a male. Sorry about that, guys. It's a lolly and a Shoto. He apparently recruits child soldiers to be his suicidal guards. I mean, I understand the whole child soldier thing, Ninja World and whatnot, but the suicidal guard bit's a bit much. They nodded to the Lord of Fangs, who was put off by the fact that they existed. Were you not expecting the Hokage to bring guards? Naruto raised an eye. That was off. Don't be suspicious. Aren't we old friends? You stopped the war with my nation with your amazing writing prowess. Right. He wrote those books. And the book definitely did end the war between Land of Fang and Claw. Remembering the type of book he wrote and the things that he put in the book brought back memories. The Anbu looked at him curiously, not knowing that Naruto had ever wrote a book. They heard many legends about the Hokage. Then again, they were standing next to the strongest Kage ever.
I mean, at least that one's, pretty much non-negotiable.
No, Barracks. The Anbu aren't remembering things that bring back memories. The Naruto is remembering things that bring back memories of the thing that we're not supposed to talk about. So which is more exciting, this or the Napoleon Dynamite story?
Obviously, the Napoleon Dynamite
Napoleon Dynamite story, just because it's Napoleon Dynamite and this is hot garbage. But that's more like saying, what's more amusing, watching ice melt or watching paint dry? SMH, you should read my messages separately. Well, then don't send them in the same minute. I'm sure your journey was a long one. If you would like, I'm sure we can discuss our business after we eat food. And then maids showed up and declothed them, and the Anbu watched the man suspiciously, as he was being far too welcoming and casual to do business. Okay, I guess. The arrogance of a daimyo when speaking to a kage was unreal to see in person. Like, they totally forgot that the kage could just wipe the daimyo out. I mean, yeah, that's like saying the arrogance of the President of the United States when talking to a general of the military, forgetting the military could just kill him. It's like,
You say, luckily the United States has solved that problem by making the president the ultimate general.
I mean, yes, but you know, that's what they do in the lands of the elemental nations. Is technically speaking, the villages are military dictatorships run by the Kage, but the Kage semi-answer to the daimyos, because the daimyos control the civilians, and without civilians, there is no mercenary ninjas.
I mean, there's just not much for them to do.
Well, no, then you just have bandit ninjas. That was the point of the whole transition between the Warring States clan era and the Warring Clans era and the Warring States era, because they went from just a bunch of bandits with superpowers running around killing each other and civilians to organized groups of bandit-turned mercenaries under the auspices of the local civilian lord. You know, they tried to organize and civilize themselves. And for some reason, black people live in clouds. I don't really get that one. I'm not tired, but I can always eat food. Blah, blah. Blah, blah. They followed him. Professionalism, dining hall. Maids were everywhere, getting food set up and placed on a table. Naruto would have invited the Anbu to join, but knew that was bad manners to invite people to eat food. Not to mention, as Anbu, they would obviously refuse to eat with him. I mean, yeah. They're also supposed to be guarding you, which is going to be a bit hard if they're busy eating. And yeah, I understand you're strongest man ever, but, you know.
Listen, you can still be poisoned.
Well, no, technically he can't. Because of the Kyuubi. And the whole, I'm gonna keep you healthy thing.
True, okay. He can still be stabbed while he's eating ramen or whatever.
Yeah. But again, the Kyuubi with the whole, I'm gonna keep you alive even though your heart's missing thing. Wasn't there also lore in the nations that started depending on ninjas to fight their wars so they weren't chucking nukes at each other? There is no ICBMs in the Naruto world. I mean, I can understand hiring ninjas to fight wars for you because having other people die for your war is a lot more PR friendly than sending your own people to die in your wars. He could also use Kyuubi Chakra Mode 2 version arms. I mean, I don't know what it's have to do anything, but yeah, sure. No, blah blah. I have special meal prepared. My finest fishermen go into the ocean and find fish. And they are so tasty, they are the best fish ever. I know, because I am the best fish taster. What is this guy, Trump? Naruto could figure out what the man wanted from him. You want me to write more porn in exchange for funding. And the Anbu were shocked! Because they had never heard of the world-famous Icha Icha series. Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure, yep. Alright. He knew about Icha Icha. They were the most legendary books of the legendary Sanin, Jiraiya, the blah blah blah, student blah 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 blah. Naruto wrote smut. Ro thought to himself, curious if he could ever find a copy of the book for comparison reasons.
I assume it's like oh, he wrote the smut. Let's compare it to Jiraiya's.
Oh, right. Okay, I was going to go down the lane of he wants to compare dick sizes using what's in the book, but I mean, yeah, that works too. Also, this is wrong. Jiraiya's a Sandimes student. It says he's Tobrima's student. Yeah, we know barracks, but Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer is never wrong. He's just factually different. Factually diverse. There we go. That's a better way of saying alternative facts. I like factually diverse more. I feel it is more inclusive. This is Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer? Yes. You should know Barracks. You love his stuff. Anyway. You should write more porn. It's vital to my village. And then the Anbu responded for the Hokage and said, you should know that the Hokage is very busy. He can't write your porn. And then he goes, yeah, I understand that the Leaf Village is fucking huge and it's got fucking skyscrapers and shit now, and I really don't understand where you're getting all this technology. But, yeah, you know, it must be really hard on you to do all this as a single person. You could use some economic help. If I had more porn, I might be able to do that for you. I mean, it's not really hard to multitask when you can literally make copies of yourself.
That, by the way, you can then just send back, you can just reabsorb to get all of their knowledge.
Transfactual.
That was probably my favorite, like, how can we make the dumbass learn fast? Well, he can make 1 million copies of himself, so then it's, even though he's stupid, 1 million copies of 1 IQ, still 1 million IQ.
Well, I mean, it's still 1 IQ, but it's just a monkey and a typewriter at that point. Eventually, one of them's gonna get it right.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's still 1 million IQ. Sure. You know, if it was someone like, what's his face? Angsty Shadow Boy.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Shikamaru.
Okay.
Listen, my brain had to get there.
I'm the drunk one here. Also, I don't
Do you
know how to
when
feel.
The last time I gave a damn about Naruto was?
I don't know how to feel about this vodka. So I picked up some vodka from Made in Hawaii, and they're like, oh yeah, we use like fresh mineral water or some shit to amplify the taste of our vodka. And I'm just sitting here just like, This tastes like vodka. I'm not really sure what the original super amazing part. Also, it is sugarcane though, and I can taste that sweetness, so that's nice. 10,000 monkeys on a typewriter, if given sufficient time, will recreate the works of Shakespeare. Yes, we all know what the reference is, Super Potatoes, but I appreciate you saying it anyway. So anyway, super busy, blah 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 blah. You understand why I must reject your offer. Soku stepped forward when Naruto was ready to eat. As your guard, I should definitely check your meals for poison. I assure you, I would never poison him. I respect his skills as an author. Okay. That's a very, odd reasoning. Not say, oh, I would never poison him because his nation would totally just burn mine to dust. If I did, like, doesn't even matter if Naruto's actually hurt in the end of the poisoning, but just the fact that somebody tried to poison Naruto would get fucking just steamrolled. Because at this point in the Naruto verse, Naruto is basically Ninja Jesus. And fucking everybody loves him except for the angsty, angry people. And I feel like Atin's just checked out of life. That's okay, Atin. I understand. I am not insulting you. I have no suspicions, but I believe your staff might poison him. So please, let me check the food.
You won't poison him, but your staff will.
And so Soku ate the food, and then was like, yup, there ain't no poison here. Because she didn't immediately die from eating the dish. Naruto laughed a little bit awkwardly. I apologize for suspecting you of foul play. No reason to apologize. I commend you for your loyalty, though you could have used more tact. Try to be more feminine. What? What? Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, you're gonna have to explain this one to me. What does having tact have anything to do with being female? Because girls are more polite, apparently, according to Barracks. Not in my experience.
I was gonna say, I am staying out of this one.
Gonna no scope that one, my dude. Isley says what we are.
Well, here's the thing. Isley doesn't count as a female because Isley is, in fact, a 30-year-old man in a basement whose microphone is conveniently always broken.
Yeah, it's only the strategy I used for the 4 years. So
It's not like Sneaky isn't intimately familiar with it.
dab on your excuses. Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer binge watches Little House on the Prairie. Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
What does that have to do with anything?
My mic works fine, Isley proclaims.
Yeah, really? Then how come you never... I'm sorry, your mic doesn't work. Or your voice is gone. I'm just saying, Isley. You understand why we're getting more suspicious over time. Also, you apparently just have a young boy just living with you. Who you claim is related to you, but we've seen no proof of that either.
Or proof of the person exists at all.
That's true.
How he gets his views of proper women behavior, I suppose. Anyway, so Soku, go walk around and stuff. Tell blah 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 blah.
Also, Isley, nice try trying to change the topic there. We will shit on Little House on Prairie. Well, Sneaky will. I actually have no issues with it.
I don't have any issues with it.
Oh.
If you want seconds, I can get you more food, you know. I was inspired by your novel. I have spent countless hours and money reading hundreds of books. But your book is just so amazing. Will you ever reconsider? Is this like Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer, like self-insert fantasizing about someone saying this to him someday?
Maybe that. Please, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer.
I'm sorry.
Fanfiction.
I'm sorry, Naruto, the guy who can make clones of himself, says, I simply don't have the time to write a book. Okay. Well then, here's a day to when you have plenty of time. I hope you found this Ningyo as delicious as I have. In lesser countries...
Just a point of order. He runs a government. He's not going to get less busy.
Yes.
Those are kind of full-time positions.
Let's raise a glass to good health. And Naruto raised his glass. It would seem business was done. If Naruto wasn't a busy man, that was. As it stood, the only reason why he visited was because of how important this was. Thank you, and since our business is concluded, I'll be on my way. I left the Shadow Clone back at the office, and that leaves be uncomfortable. And he snapped his fingers. Soku reappeared, Ro nodding to her.
I think what he's saying is, I left a fake me running the government.
In a second, all three were gone. And he smiled as his plan was perfect. It would work, eventually. The Ningyo, the mermaid whose body, when eaten, grants immortality. That's just okay. Sure, yeah. One never ages past adulthood. You might not have time now, but will you in 100 or 200 years? Oh, God.
So wait. I like this dude's book so much, I'm gonna give him immortal life.
Like, this is the most this is like, oh shit, what was those Oxhorn shorts? With the evil professor who always accidentally ended up doing good things?
Oh, I don't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe I do.
Kill all the beggars in Olgrimmar, Barnaby. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna hatch this evil, diabolical plan to give the hero immortality so eventually that he does something that I enjoyed.
All Might, you never had time to come tell me what a wonderful person I was and how wonderful I was for saving 2 people. But if I make you immortal and make you All Might for eternity, surely someday you'll have time for that.
I mean, he also ate it, which makes him immortal. And then the lolly also ate it, which makes the lolly also immortal. So I guess we're pairing...
What I'm hearing is the Shota's getting the shaft.
The Shota is getting the shaft. The Shota already has a shaft as well. So double the shaft, I suppose. Anyway, so the Fang Daimyo, muttered into his sake. His plan had gone perfectly. In the future, Naruto would have nothing better to do than write books. And since he would also be immortal, he would be able to read those books. The ninja...
What's sad is, Sneaky, is this thing listed as humor?
No.
Because this is the funniest thing Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer's ever written that I've read.
I will give him that. This is actually making me genuinely laugh. Until someone eventually assassinates him when they realize that he lives very old. The Ningyo didn't give immunity to death. It just stops aging. Well, I mean, normally I would be like, oh, well, that's stupid, that can't work. But, I mean, technically speaking, if prompted with the proper chemicals, the body would technically stop aging. So, I mean, okay. It's a very rare fish, and it took his best fisherman 10 years of searching. He had spent close to $100 million, exhausting literally every bit of his country's funds tracking down this form of immortality. I mean, that's probably the most innocent search for immortality I've ever seen.
Why did you desire immortality? Well, this dude really wrote a book that I really
Well, I mean, not
liked,
only that,
and
but also the method he went through it. Oh, I'll just have my best fisherman, search for it, and I'll just pay him a shit ton of money to help him.
Because they're not actually fishing.
Like, that is like the most benign search for immortality ever. I mean, yeah, you did exhaust your country's funds to do it. But you didn't repress your people. You didn't sacrifice a shit ton of people to a dark god.
There was no Kalima.
You didn't perform unethical experiments on children and shit. I just spent a bunch of money and I paid one guy who volunteered to go and search for the most rare fish in the world. Oh, okay. Humans have an age maximum. It's around 95. No, actually, the thing is with humans and with all animals is that we don't have an age maximum. The age maximum, quote unquote, is just around the point in time when enough of our cells have become, what were they called? Those fucking little
telomeres.
Telomeres, yeah. We've lost enough telomeres in all of our cells, and that at that point, it's just everything's just starting to go because the cells just aren't working as good anymore.
When they say they got old and their body shut down, that's literally what happened because parts of your body are dying all the time and replicating themselves and fixing themselves. And for the first 30-odd years of your life, this process continues uninterrupted without any difficulty, and nothing really bad happens because of it. But past a certain point, you get too old for that process to happen effectively.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, cartilage production starts slowing down, so that gets worn out faster than it can be replaced, or something like that. I'm not really clear on all the processes of the body, but more or less, a decent portion of your body can still be regenerated if you're young enough.
Well, that's also why, say a young person falls and gets a
broken back,
spine-shattering injury, they can recover much better than someone of a similar, if an 80-year-old falls and breaks their spine, that's it. They're done. There's no fixing that. 16-year-old breaks their back, it's impossible for them to regain mobility.
A 4-year-old, they actually can. Yeah, usually easily. I actually know someone whose back was broken when they were 5. They fell, but they fell into a crack when they did so, and so their front body, the lower half of their body kept going one direction, and the upper half of their body went a different direction, and their back, their spine just went.
Spines do that.
Yeah. And they're fine now. They have little to no issue. Because
I was gonna say they probably regained what 98, 95?
I wouldn't know, but they were able to go to a military school and keep up with PT just fine.
Gotcha.
So they they didn't really have that much issues.
I was gonna say enough.
Yeah. But that being said, that's all based on certain chemical processes in your body, based on your age, stress factors, replication factors, other forms of shit. But majority of the old age symptoms are directly sourced from the shortening of telomeres, which are more or less just junk DNA as far as we can tell, that are at the ends of DNA strands that, because the process is not perfect,
there's got to
we
be
lose a
some
little bit.
purpose they serve, because we need the damn things.
We need them to not degenerate too quickly.
Right.
Because there is actually an animal that lives forever. That is an animal, not like some sort of bacteria or fungus or a water bear or something like. No, this is a full animal. You've actually seen them before in restaurants. It's lobsters.
Yeah.
Lobsters produce a protein that actually helps their cells regenerate telomeres, and they don't suffer from old age. They don't suffer from actually anything in terms of aging. The thing that kills lobsters is actually the fact that they become so massive that they are unable to shed their skin in time, that they can get stuck and die due to that, because their skin is an exoskeleton and only can crack so far, and the inside of them is very fleshy and soft and can only exert so much force. And there comes a time when the lobster just gets so massive that their energy requirements are so much that they can't escape their shell in time to regrow it and get food before they're attacked by something. And obviously, looking at this giant, juicy lobster that is completely unable to attack them and completely undefended. Also, lobsters are cannibals. Just wanted to throw that little fact out there as well.
Not particularly relevant to this, just lobsters are cannibals.
Yeah, just, you know.
Further proof that they should be your meal of choice. You're eating cannibals.
I have literally no memory of the last hour. What the fuck? Welcome to alcohol, my friend. Welcome to alcohol. Anyway, so, the camera pans back to Naruto. And the Anbu is like, yo, Naruto, is something wrong? And then Naruto slowed down so the Anbu could keep up with him. And the Anbu was thankful for that, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to guard him. Which would be weird, because the Hokage really didn't need guards, because he was the Hokage and stronger than them. Naruto hummed. Normally my dealings with Daimyo don't go that smoothly. He made an offer, the offer was rejected, and he let it go. Naruto was very suspicious of this. Soku glanced at the Hokage. Isn't it possible he just wanted the book and was not too hung up on it? The girl clearly hadn't met lots of daimyo. Ro hadn't either, but he knew that daimyo were hyper-corrupt, and they really just wanted to do shit and be evil and stuff or whatever. I guess it's possible,
Yes.
sure. Naruto did suppose that nothing was impossible, just unlikely. That Ningyo was delicious, so the trip wasn't without gain, Soku mentioned, and Naruto nodded. The Ningyo was delicious. Hey, Kurama, have you ever heard of Ningyo? Naruto thought as he looked up at the giant orange fox inside his mindscape. I've never paid attention to things that didn't concern me. I'm a tailed beast, not a history book. Naruto snorted.
I mean, you know what? I'll give him that. That's a fairly reasonable statement for the god beast to make.
Arn, Jesus Christ. I blacked out drunk. Also, I wrote a short Harry Potter story.
Yes. We know.
Also, getting blackout drunk after an hour of drinking 21% proof. What a fucking casual. Oh, speaking of which, so, at work today, I was loading the money, and, one of my coworkers, goes like, oh yeah, you know, I remember my 21st birthday, and the bartender gave me this like mixed drink with vodka, and they're like, there's 6 shots in this drink. You're gonna get fucking hammered. And I'm just like, 6 shots? That's like nothing. She just looks at me and she goes, yeah, you like outweigh me massively. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a fair point. And I mean, I did, outweigh her massively. She's like half a foot shorter than me. I'm not fat. I'm not fat. I'll say I'm overweight. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm not like fat. I don't have flab on my arms. My legs.
You aren't a land whale.
Well, no, not even land whale. Like, my arms aren't big because there's lots of fat on them. At worst, I have a minor beer belly.
I would say you, like many Americans, have a beer belly.
Which is amusing because I don't drink beer, but it does run in the family.
Anyway. Let's wrap this garbage up.
Blah blah, blah blah blah. Naruto's eyes, blah blah. 10 ninja are about to ambush me. Blah blah, blah blah. They could hear the sounds of battle happening. 30 years later, something is wrong. He looked at his family. I mean, I'm an Uzumaki, but this is ridiculous. I haven't aged. You said it yourself. You're an Uzumaki.
What does that have to do with anything?
Uzumakis look young until like 100 years old or something like that.
Oh, okay. And then it's just poof?
No. Then they just like started looking older.
Gotcha.
Like, apparently like Uzumakis have like super yang chakra or some shit. And they just look youthful for a really long time. Isley says she looks like Taylor from Worm.
Still don't believe that you're female.
I might. So, 60 years later after 30 years later, the passage of time was harsh and unforgiving, and he learned that one of his Anbu had the same problem as him. At 120, Naruto learned that him and getting old didn't happen. All the people around him were very old, and he was not. Everyone he knew died from age, and he did not. His children dying had been hard from their age. Aren't they also Uzumaki? Heck, there was only 2 people he could talk about this shit. And one was the Anbu guard, who also didn't age, and the other one is Orochimaru, who found immortality as well.
Just gonna throw that out casually, huh?
The 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Hokages also all died. I don't get this, because supposedly Naruto ushered in an era of peace. And I can sort of understand, like, the Hokage mantle being passed down, where Naruto's like, okay, guys, I've been Hokage for, like, fucking 90 years now. It's time for someone else to have the chance. I could be like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. So, someone else has to follow the dream of becoming Hokage, whatever. But, like, they're all dead. It wasn't like the position just passed on. It was like he passed his position on, and then the person who became the Hokage also died of old age. And it's like, okay, so either there's a war going on killing the Hokages off, which doesn't make sense because Naruto's fucking uber powerful, or they're all just really old? Soku, how are you feeling? Asked the Anbu, who has been an Anbu for 90 years now. Jesus Christ. Imagine being Black Ops for 90 years.
That's gonna give you some PTSD.
Literally existing PTSD flashback. I mean, I don't mean to make fun of it, but still, it's like 5 years in the military is enough to give you some flashbacks to some fucked up shit.
No.
Like 90 years, it's like, oh, that somebody breathed near me. PTSD flashback. Actually, kind of literally.
Yeah.
Death of grandson. Of course, she was an Anbu and was able to control her emotions. She was still very stiff. I will recover, Naruto nodded. He continued to write in his books. We see here, the daimyo's plan has come to fruition. Naruto, now that he has passed on the mantle and everyone around him is dying, has decided to just start writing books once more. That son of a bitch. I would go and track him down if he hadn't been assassinated 40 years ago. Naruto crushed his pen. He realized now what had happened 90 years ago. She had tested the meal that he gave him. The man had mentioned a day when you had plenty of time. The man didn't drug the food. The food was a drug that gave immortality. You have me still? Oh, jeez, I feel bad for Kurama a bit. Like, you know, fucking Naruto for like 120 years. You're like, you know, I'm an immortal being, but you know, being friends with you is cool and all, but I would kind of like to just stir things up a bit.
Get a new body.
Move to someone else. Yeah. Oh, still you? Oh.
You're not even doing any interesting fights. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I guess we're together for the long haul now. Orochimaru wasn't a friend, and Soku was like a lolly to him. Yeah, there are other tailed beasts, I guess. He could always try and talk to them. And actually, since he had their chakra inside him, he could just go talk to them. Okay. Sounds fine by me. I spent the first 1,000 years of my life sleeping, waking up only when someone provoked me. It doesn't matter if I sleep inside you or outside you. Sneaky, aren't you 10 minutes overtime? You can stop? No! I will stop when I lose the viewers!
Please leave. I have pizza coming. No, for real though. Once my food shows up, I'm gone.
Yeah, no, for real. I'm gonna finish this story up and probably just say shit for a while and then call it a day. Maybe I'll do a gaming stream. We do have access to the next test flight of the Halo Reach, and it actually has game modes now.
Anyway, keep moving.
Yeah. Anyway. Will the real Naruto please stand up? So he stood up and went to go see what Orochimaru was doing. As he walked, Soku followed behind him, doing her job as the immortal guard, as they were both held with the same curse. She was the only person capable of being his personal Anbu at this point. I mean, I suppose so. This is different. You've changed your lab. Orochimaru still had a creepy lab, though. The days he took Orochimaru as a serious threat was long ago, and even thinking about Orochimaru as a threat was laughable. Orochimaru knew this. Orochimaru was monitoring something. It's rare for you to come by. Do you need information or a favor? He continued his own research, but the boredom that he had seemed to be in was rather the easiest spot. Performing experiments for so long, he was running out of things to experiment on. He had documented all known jutsu. Every jutsu ever used was documented now. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, he did actually do a significant amount of research in just, like, the, 5 to 6 years he had been exiled?
Mm-hmm.
He had a vast array of technology that was aimed at every aspect of life. He had mastered many secrets of life, and, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't much left for him to discover or work on. He was just dicking around at this point until something was interesting. I mean, that's fair, I guess. Turns out I'm immortal. Naruto just casually dropped this bomb on Orochimaru. Orochimaru was like, okay? Question mark?
Yeah. How'd you do it? I ate a fish. You mean I didn't have to murder all of those people, get kicked out of my village, and like become ninja Hitler?
All I had to do was eat a fish.
I'm sorry. Can we get a spin-off where it's just Orochimaru being depressed and reevaluating his life choices because all he had to do was eat a fish?
Unless Naruto was saying that he would like to put some research into his right hand. That must be a fellow that masturbates all day.
Yes.
Then it wasn't like they would have much to actually talk about. Are you finally going to let me take a crack at that hand of yours? Didn't Orochimaru make that hand for him? Oh. I'm sure if Katsuku was able to invent it, you would be able to, but better. Orochimaru frowned at this. The ability to absorb all of your enemy's techniques and nullify them isn't something that can be easily replicated. The man was truly a genius, if not a fool in other areas. It's a shame he died before completing it. He could have made the perfect artificial shinobi. Oh well, another genius would someday come along and put him to shame. What an insane idea are you currently working on? Orochimaru grunted. There isn't much for me to do these days. All I'm doing is poking at other dimensions, but none of them really appeal to me.
It feels a little early in this immortal mashup to be buddy-buddy, given what Orochimaru did.
Well, I mean, it's 90 years have passed, and Orochimaru literally just cannot kill Naruto at this point. So, I mean, it's Naruto again, Ninja Jesus. He went full Ninja Jesus, and it's just like, yeah, everyone's forgiven. I mean, it's not like... I mean, I guess they're acting a little bit buddy-buddy, but it just feels like, to me, that it's just two people that are just like...
Anyway,
fuck do we
going.
do? Pretty sure it was made by Orochimaru's apprentice? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Orochimaru's apprentice got yeeted during the World War. Other dimensions, you say? Any chakra ones? There was a few that used chakra, but because their dimensions were different, the way chakra formed was different, but not that different. Yes, you know how bodies have physical, spiritual, and chakra? Naruto nodded. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Spiritual and physical energies, natural, sage, using chakra, blah, blah, blah. Orochimaru smirked. When in some dimensions, they don't have the energies we have. This dimension, for example, only has spiritual energy. They call it death gods. It's Bleach. There, he's referring to Bleach. This dimension is used physical energy only, and they get their power from eating fruits. It's One Piece. How about this one? This dimension is undeveloped, but it's very interesting. This dimension has multiple species. Some that use purely spiritual, and some that use purely physical. And there's even one chakra-using species that use senjutsu. And blah blah. Oh. Okay, so it's like some primitive form of the D times D-verse?
I don't know, or care.
A variety of species are interesting. In 10,000 years, I would say this dimension might actually be something special. I might want to research them, but the urge doesn't really strike me at the moment. He rubbed his forehead in annoyance. The only dimension that was really worth watching hadn't developed enough yet for him to be truly interested in it. He'd been watching the dimension 50 years, and he did notice that some species age so slowly they might as well not be aging. Naruto smiled at an idea formed in his head, a dimension where senjutsu was taking place. As a sage, he couldn't ignore that. Naruto, no. Naruto, yes, he responded to Kurama. I want to travel this dimension, the underdeveloped one. That can be arranged, but don't you have other matters to attend to? He really doesn't, Soku said. Naruto spent his days doing nothing, or sometimes writing books. His family drifted away from him as the years passed by, and the village had grown to him to the point where they no longer needed him. Shinobi were relics of the past. There's very few people going into being a ninja nowadays. I mean, I can sort of see ninjas still being used for corporate espionage and shit. But I mean, maybe the whole world is just like so used to that sort of thing that there's just so much technology that prevents it that it's just like it's not really worth the, cost. No, I doubt that. We still have companies getting hacked day in and out. Nah. Their way of life was dying out, but Naruto didn't care. He had too much time in his hands. What she said, not to mention, the only threat in that world is you at this point. Orochimaru smirked. Oh, Naruto-kun, thank you for thinking so highly of me. I don't like you at all, Naruto mentioned. Of course, yeah, blah 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 blah. Orochimaru pushed a button and a black portal opened up. Is it really that easy? It looked like a Sasuke portal. I was able to study and copy Sasuke's space-time jutsu. The portal opens up, you walk through it, portal closes. I do think you're still being reckless, though. Going through a new dimension would be easy. What was reckless was leaving behind the village and everything else. The village is my home, the people are my family, but I am a relic of the past. I am not needed in this new age. Everyone is weaker. With each generation, less people become shinobi. This year, alone, gave birth to only a single man who wanted to be a shinobi. How about you, Hinoko? She growled. Soku. Hinoko spoke, hating her real name with passion. Very few people called her by that name. She was Soku. Anyway, I've already lost my entire family. The duty isn't Anbu to their Kage. I would rather die than see what shinobi become in the next 100 years. I mean, that's fair enough. If you were an immortal samurai and you just had to watch Japan turn into this degenerate shit.
Behold, I am an immortal samurai. What is that? What is a lolly?
Seppuku! Intensifies. Yeah, blah blah blah. Sad decline. Most people never made it past Chunin these days. True shinobi disappeared. The urge to become better ninja was gone. You're letting her come with you? He shrugged. Yup, somebody has to guard Lord Seventh. Blah blah, no Kage, blah blah blah. I will travel where he travels until I die. Orochimaru looked at Naruto. Okay, she actually had a death wish and stopped caring if she lived or died. With the recent passing of her family, it's rather easy to understand she was hoping she would die. There's nothing you want to take with you? Naruto shook his head. He didn't need material possessions. Okay there, Ninja Jesus. Naruto took a scroll out of his pocket. Don't even look for the scroll of secrets or treasured tools of six paths. All of it's mine, and I have it sealed into this scroll here. It's safeguarded by me forever. You will never get it. Why the hell did Tenten have the treasured tools on display in her shop? So he took them. You take away my fun. Guess it doesn't matter. Are you going to become sort of immortal sage trainer? Yes, I shall become the immortal sage trainer. I like it. It's going to become my next title. It sounded nice. He went to go walk to the portal, but then was like, wait, Orochimaru made this portal. And Orochimaru was like, what? You don't trust me? I know you. I trust you won't lie. You're an honest man. You, however, often leave details out that are important. I also know you're a dick when you're bored.
For instance, I can give you the power to beat your brother. What I didn't tell you is, I'll be stealing your body before this is over.
No, he told them that too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I will give you the power to beat your brother, and then I'll take your body. And Sasuke's like, okay, boomer.
Sasuke's like, wait, I can finally murder him? Done. You accepted that very quickly. You do understand I will steal your body for my own use, right? Done.
Orochimaru nodded. Blah blah, staring at Orochimaru. Orange ball of static. Who knows, in 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years, I might get bored. This world is boring. I might cause a wind to stir it up. Naruto knew what he's implying. I'm going to fuck with you from the safety of our world, and there's nothing you can do about it. Naruto
How are
sighed.
we not done with this yet?
You did not like that man. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. So basically, actually, you know what? As much shit as I give Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, Isley likes this story. I guess Isley likes to suck some fairy tale dick. No, but no, in all seriousness, I will give as much shit as I give him. I will give him credit for this. He actually introduced a Chekhov's gun that he can use at any fucking point in time to have shit happen. Orochimaru did it.
Not just Orochimaru did it. Orochimaru's an asshole.
Oh, Isley likes Arn's story. Oh, okay. Well, I'll check that out as well then, Arn. After the stream is over, of course. Maybe I'll do it next stream. Yeah, I'll do it next stream. Oh, Harry Potter and the Eye. No, we will not be doing that on stream. Anyway, so they went through the portal, and she could feel the malice around them. And they were surrounded by a group of men and women wearing clothes with impressive auras. How dare you appear on Mount Olympus? For stepping foot on the land of gods, you will not escape unscathed. I do not like you, Orochimaru. Naruto spoke as he powered up. His clothes turned into pure energy. I take one step in this world, and I land myself in a fight. Very well, gods. Allow me to show you the power that defeats gods. Hinoko lowered her guard, knowing this would be quick. Nobody alive could keep up with Naruto. Only a god can defeat a god. In a moment, less than a second, Naruto yeeted all of Mount Olympus. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude upon your land. I made sure to only knock them all out. I don't want to kill you all. Can you give me directions to the nearest human village? Time to go find himself a pupil. Leave me lots of reviews, but do not flame me. I'm now going to spend time debunking people that like to wank the DxD-verse because I am sick of people making DxD characters out to be stronger than they actually are. This is what I love about Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, is that he is completely blind to his own faults, but loves to point out his own faults in other people. For example, he loves to write power wank Naruto stories. And to be fair, Naruto is fairly power wank, especially at the epilogue stage. However, he also loves to point out other people writing power wank of stuff that he does not enjoy as much as Naruto.
Anyway.
Power of destruction, divine dividing, blah blah, boosted gear, Orifice's power, blah blah. Okay, that's actually a fair point. Orifice's power. When she is weakened, she was twice as strong as Dragon Albion, so her power is therefore not infinite because it can be halved. Her power is called infinite power, but it's not infinite because Lilith, her daughter, was created with 1/4 of her power. And if 1/4 of her power can actually be conceptualized, then her power can't be infinite. Yeah. I'll give that to him. Yeah.
I mean, yes, but by putting numbers on something, it is in fact subject
This
to
is
numbers.
1/4 of infinite. Okay, well that's quantifying infinite, which makes it not infinite. Drake said he could destroy the world, refers to wiping out all life, not the planet bursting. He has no feats to prove this, however. Last I checked, he was killed by the leaders of the 3 factions. Drake is just an arrogant dick. Yes. Light speed. No character in D times D has ever gone light speed. Even the gods haven't reached lightning speed. Yudo says somebody is as fast as light is not considered proof. Again, fair. Great Red size. He's 100 meters long. Comparing the Great Red to tailed beasts who are nearly as tall as mountains, which can be around 300 meters tall, is wrong. Not to mention Kurama at his full power stands over mountains.
Also true.
Fair enough. Naruto's right hand. I am not making this up. In the epilogue, Naruto has a robot hand built for him that has the power to absorb and nullify techniques. Since ninja techniques consist of chakra, physical, and spiritual, that means Naruto's hand can absorb any technique that uses any of those three. Yeah.
Also fair enough.
Yeah, okay. Note, Naruto got this new arm in the Boruto manga before anyone tries to correct me. Naruto's forearm is made of Hiroshima cells, but his hand itself is a robotic creation. If you know lore, then you know of Ningyo is a mermaid. If you eat Ningyo, you are given eternal youth and endless lifespan. Yeah, and like I said, this is the weird thing about Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, is he actually does his research, but he is just completely blind to his own issues. He's like this sort of guy that does a bunch of research when buying cars, and buys the best car at the best price, and it's super fast, but he himself is an incompetent driver. You know, I think that's the best example I can give. Anyway, I appreciate everyone who stayed till this point. Jesus Christ. See you all next time. Tell people about this. Bada bing, bada boom. There's always more and it always gets worse. Fucking... What the fuck?